Welcome back to the wonderful good grief. What happened to my wonderful harmonious country? I tell you what happened. I screwed up a little bit. Just a teensy-weensy bit. And I know how much I screwed up because someone posted the... well, let's call it the walkthrough for the whole lunar event. And yeah, I was pretty close to making it work, but instead I have fractured and disintegrated the entire realm into fragments. A little heads up, this is the second time I have to record this because I'm a dum-dum and after my main BIOS chip fried, I don't know why, just, you know, turn on your PC, beep, 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 out. So I took my tower forward, did some troubleshooting, disconnected pretty much all of my USBs, and after I switched to my secondary BIOS, everything went running and I forgot to plug in my microphone. Well, where's the problem with that? The problem is I didn't, in OBS, I didn't watch my little audio slider going up and down and all around. So I was sitting there for 75 minutes, waffling my entire, evening away. And notice, good grief, that's 1.5 episodes down the drain. Because there's a lot of text. So I won't be that surprised if stuff happens today, since I gotta re-record this, and that's why it will probably be late and not out by tomorrow, so there might be a whole day delay or at least a few hours, and this will mostly be shortly after release, only a a soft definition with low resolution, but since it probably once again will be a lot of yapping about in terms of story, it shouldn't be too bad. And also I can stop myself doing a few little problems. While I was rearranging my front line, I had a little misclick and sent all my troops just storm the enemy. And I thought I had them all selected and told them to hold. No, don't do this. However, one little tank that could was sitting down here and started moving across, creating about 5 to 6 zones deep way in, which gave us a whole lot of extra front line. The enemy clustered around, tried to cut me off, and it was horrible. Also, we are close to losing Canterlot due to my unbelievable great tactical skills. But at least right now I have only lost one major supply line, which is important to me. I gotta take those back. I especially gotta take back everything about Winneapolis. And once this is done, well, we can try to push back. So see you at the next event. Alright, we are back. I have reorganized my front line. Screw the field marshal. I like you for your bonuses, but good grief, are you useless? Why I'm no programmer, but I just wish someone could tell me why it is so hard to just say, as far as possibly to one side or the other of the front line, keep those troops there. But it's impossible, so I had to do it all by hand. I have to defend Canterlot, and especially I gotta take back the supply line.
Magic makes us strong.
Which should mean...
ready to do our part.
You, sir, move on in. You move on over, and you move into Ponyville. I need Ponyville back. It's a very important supply line. We need to get our ponies supplied and alive. If we don't, well, we'll lose. So...
our lands must be preserved.
Maybe I can try and...
neither snow nor rain can stop us.
Take you as well into...
answering the call.
Got a few movement orders. Send one troop back into Winneapolis to defend. Yes, it's Minneapolis. Liverpool is on the side of it. Our national focus is the Ministry of Defense. Our political power is in shambles because we switched to limited conscription. Last time I stopped the training of 2 units because I thought I really need all the pony power at the front, but it turns out it regenerates fast enough and I really need the troops on the front. And as soon as possible we need to get some artillery to the front as well. By the way, I have changed the production since we lost pretty much, I would say about 80-85% of our production capabilities. Yeah, we are screwed once again. We only got 2 civilian factories open because we are still stuck on civilian economy. But that's the national focus tree. We'll take care of it. So let us see where we can be. And there he goes again. I thought I was done with my disintegration, but oh no, it's still going. I'm still losing land. This time it's, well, it's Pony Las Vegas. Where's it? Down. There's it. Las Pegasus. There was a hesitant knock at I thought I was better at reading now that it is pretty much the second time around. But I gotta concentrate more. Focus. Focus. Summon your inner brony. There was a hesitant knock at Princess Celestia's chambers. A group of bureaucrats nervously entered, looking very stressed and tired. "What's the problem?" she asked, looking at the ponies from her current reports and newspapers. The ponies seemed to reel back from her question. We are sorry, Princess. We have urgent news." One of the ponies was shoved forward, holding a letter. Princess Celestia took it, ripped the envelope open with one swift movement. Her face fell, and every pony in the room cowered. It was a letter from the mayor of Las Pegasus, declaring that they were completely independent of this civil war and had no intention of joining with either side. Well, I wonder what we can play as. Can play so many countries. That's amazing. That's amazeballs as hell.
Ponies, at the ready. How do I hold a gun with hooves?
We need way more support because we are losing once again a important supply line, but as long as they are redistributing, this will go on happening. They will regret this. How's it looking? Unread naval battle. Oh, they destroyed a destroyer and a heavy cruiser. Well, we have some anchorage up. Oh! We have the village up north. I didn't know this. Alright. I was wondering why we still got a navy down here, but I thought I was pretty much pulling them all back. So, but alright. How's the enemy looking still? Yeah, we got yellows down south. We got reds up the north. And the sooner we get done with this one, the better.
Ready. Move out.
Nope, you help on that. And it never stops. We will fix this. The Hoover Commune. Inspired by Stalingrad Republic, communists in Vancouver have risen up and seized control over the city, proclaiming Vancouver Commune. They are led by the new former admiral of the Equestrian Navy, Dust Hoover, and proclaimed neutrality in the current conflict. Oh, what next? And with this we lost Vancouver. We lost even more production and even more, well, we can't really lose much more civilian factories because almost all of them are, well, still civilian.
Magic makes it strong.
You are bad and encircled. So this
Our lands
bad.
must be
You
preserved.
support. Don't lose much more land than we need to. You can fall back, that's okay. How's this one
Our lands
going?
must be preserved.
Support.
Our lands must be
Move
preserved.
on in. The sooner we crush this, the better. Oh, fleet-wide mutinies. As things cannot get bad enough, Princess Celestia and her remnants of the Equestrian Royal Navy had found out that Admiral Dust Hoover has rallied a good portion of the Equestrian Navy against Celestia, and has had them fled to the Van Hoover commune. The loss of a good portion of their navy has not only dealt a heavy blow to naval power, but prestige as well, as the event small remnants of the Equestrian Royal Navy are demoralized and in disarray. If the war ends in our favor, we must bring justice to the traitors. That is Dust Hoover once we are ready. The traitor must be apprehended. I wonder how long they last. Probably longer than us. We are still on the back foot. We got in... Oh good grief. We got an encirclement and we will
Ready to do our part.
probably lose this one. Unless we can help out from behind. Which it doesn't look like we will.
Ponies at the ready.
Can you support?
Ponies, fire!
You stop and try to defend. This is all looking very, 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 very bad.
Ready to do our
Everything
part.
go here.
Our lands must be preserved.
Going there. Just squeeze them out. We need you on the front. And
Answering the call.
this is what I needed.
How do I hold a gun with hooves?
I don't know, sweetheart, how you do it, as long as you do it. Alright. You increase your range. You decrease your range. It's still not enough. Alright. Well, it's not beautiful, but it should be able to hold. Do we have any more recruiting? Let's get a quick check in our... Where's the stockpile? There's the stockpile. What do we have? We have about... Well, it's basic rifle, though. Better than nothing. Let's get some ponies out. How are you? You are useless. Pretty much the only thing we can do, one hoof divisions. Because the Royal Guards and everything else is useless. Let's see if we can get... Nope, we can't. Let's see if we can get those out without disintegrating even more. How's it looking? We are losing house supply. We lost a supply depot,
Ponies,
so
fire!
throw everything against it and try to take it back. We are holding down south. That's a surprise. The supply depot will hold for now, but it's about to fall. We gotta retake parts of
Magic makes us strong.
the Canterlot surroundings. How's the north? We have lost a little bit more of our supply,
Neither snow nor rain can
but
stop
we
us.
really need to hold Wolfthorn. That's important to us. As soon as we got those guys helping out,
Our lands must be preserved.
and to be sure, I will get you up to the north here for now. Say half of you. Just to help out, we need to retake this, otherwise we are suffering supply issues, and those will be gruesome.
Neither snow nor
In the
rain
meantime, you
stop
can
us.
run through this. You
Moving
can run
out.
through there. You can run through there.
Answering the call.
You
Neither snow nor
attack,
rain can stop
and
us.
just to be sure, let's do some more encirclements. That is it.
Ready to do our part.
The replacement! Princess Twilight Sparkle looked over the reports she had laid out on the desk before her. A look of heavy concern plastered on her face after Nightmare Moon has risen once again and plunged Equestria into a full civil war. Twilight had volunteered to help in some of the more administrative tasks involving the military. That meant filing through all the reports that the army was sending back to Canterlot, and more than a few of them didn't paint a good picture of what was going on, especially in the High Command. Putting it straight, Luna's fall had torn a hole in the general staff. Prince Blueblood was surprisingly performing much better at his role than Twilight had expected. But it was still clear that he couldn't lead the entire Equestrian army. They needed some pony to fill the place that the Princess of the Night had left, at least until a more permanent replacement could be found. But who could possibly do that? It was clear the generals didn't know, since all their reports were just blaming Blueblood when he just couldn't do everything at once. Twilight needed to figure it out, and soon. And then it came to her. There was one pony. She knew who could help. It had been years since they had last seen each other, and though they had left on semi-good terms, the mare didn't exactly have the best track record in friendship. But even with all that, Twilight was sure that she would still at least listen to her, and hopefully agree to help Equestria in its darkest hour. It was the best fit for the pony that they needed. But first, he had to track her down. It's time to find an old friend.
Answering the call.
It is a premature attack, but well, as I already said it,
Our lands must be preserved.
I need the supply line back. I cannot lose it.
Neither snow nor rain can stop us.
It is too important. And we got Ponyville back. That's great. That's another
Answering the call.
important supply line. Oh, what did I...
Answering the call.
No, you don't. You go there. Don't add more troops
Neither
than
snow nor
we
rain
need.
can stop us.
And try to get this one back, since it's also very important. It's a supply line. Whoop! And it beams up to the north. End of a journey. Hey, Princess Twilight. Been a while since I've seen you around. Sunset Shimmer led the Alcone into her room, closing the door behind her. It's nice to see you again, Sunset, Twilight said. Oh. Whoops. Wrong voice. Twilight said, taking a seat in one of the open chairs. I mean, the last time I saw you, I absolutely forgot. Did I give Twilight a Look. It's stressful time, so I think I'm gonna cut down on the voices. I can remember a few, but that's too many for me. I'm not a professional voice actor, although I love to make my money this way. But I had to take notes and sounding so I can, have a, let's say, 30-second audio clip of myself talking in some accent, voice, pitch. And just to remember, oh yeah, it's this character, I need to use this and this voice. And what the actual hell do you think
at the ready.
you are doing? We are losing Canterlot because they are just standing around and not redistributing the way I need them to. And we also lost the airbus. Oh, that's just... Oh! Have they repositioned down here? Yes, they have. Alright, at least that's good. Sorry about the interruption. Where was I? End of the journey. Princess Twilight entered the room of Sunset Shimmer. I was running away from the royal guard. Believe me, Twilight, I remember you pulling me out of the mirror world just as well as you do. The unicorn levitated 2 cups onto the table, taking a seat across from Twilight. Tea? Twilight nodded before taking a sip. You know that I cleared your name with Princess Celestia, right? You didn't have to run away. She was interrupted by a small laugh. Ha! I noticed. It's why I'm living here, not in Mariposa. That's why I'm living here now in Mariposa and not somewhere out in the woods. Sunset put down her teacup and sighed. I stayed away from Canterlot for a different reason. Twilight, I just wasn't ready to face, her. So instead I traveled all over Equestria, trying to find some new meaning in life. Find the magic of friendship like you told me to. Sunset looked back up at Twilight, the faintest smirk appearing. Though, with how Equestria is now, I don't think this is the best time to be making friends anymore. Twilight nodded. You're right, and that's exactly why I'm here. We need your help, Sunset. The yellow unicorn blinked. My help? Yes, Princess Luna turned into Nightmare Moon. Oh, Princess Luna turning into Nightmare Moon has left the Equestrian High Command in disarray. And Prince Blueblood can't lead the army by himself. Some pony else needs to help lead. And I know you learned a lot from your long time in the mirror world. Whoa, whoa, whoa! Putting her hooves out. I'm honored, Twilight. But are you sure that you want me leading an army? It's only been a few years since I, stole your element of magic. And I don't even have this whole friendship thing down yet. The Alicorn reached across the table and held one of Sunset's hooves. Sunset, I know this is sudden, but I need you. Equestria needs you. Nightmare Moon and her followers are killing ponies as we speak, and the longer the civil war goes on... Twilight trailed off for a moment. I don't know how much more Equestria or the Princess Celestia can take. Silence held in the air for a few moments, while the two ponies stared at each other. Then, letting go of Twilight, Sunset got off her chair and stood up. All right, Twilight, she said in a familiar gleam in her eyes. I'm in. Just tell me what you need me to do. Sunset, thank you. And she is a great field marshal. She gives us even more bonuses than otherworldly experience. Heat attrition. Yeah, right. Then Blue Blood, and our center line is now led by Field Marshal Prince Blue Blood, the White. But all gray ponies are all white ponies are actually called gray. Dude, just shut up.
Magic makes us strong.
3 helping troops. You go all into yellow. Yellow is buckling a bit, even with the help of teal. So get your hooves down there and help your fellow friends. Let's just take back Winnipolis and see where we can go from there. And especially,
pin them down.
Get your flippin' tank up
Ponies
that
at the
hill.
ready.
What do you think
Drop
you
down and
are
take cover.
doing? It's the high ground. You gotta take high ground. That's military 101. Always gotta take the high ground and all of the supply depots. This is the end of a supply line, but no depot, so we gotta give them some of our few trucks we got, just to alleviate any pressure we got there. This also doesn't look too good, so you know what? You can have motorized too. I don't like it, but I don't have to like it, I just have to deal with it. Oh, what else do we do? Land lease from the Crystal Empire. I know what this is, so thank you, but I can do without. Probably I just refused a light tank, which is something I really need. Where do we lose? Pretty much in the entire north. But I just can't. I don't have the planes to deal with it, so...
Ponies at the ready. Magic makes us strong. Our lands must be preserved.
Let's wait a bit. And then we gotta reposition because this is... Supply-wise, this is a nightmare, and that's because this route here is lost. Let's cut them off. Come on, you can do it.
Magic makes us strong.
The Ursa Major Problem Minor. There was a time when every pony lived in awe of the great bear Ursa Minor and Ursa Major. These bears, with a fur that mirrored the night sky, could easily cleave a pony in half, and even fought successfully against some of the most powerful unicorns Equestria had ever seen. However, the time of mythical power and wild beasts have almost unnoticeably come to a close in Equestria. Sword and staff have been replaced by rifle and howitzer, and now a single pony can wield power that was unthinkable even a generation ago. But to fuel the fires of industry that makes these marvels possible, clever ponies are always searching for new resources to exploit. The search for new materials led a particular company to the ancient hiding place of the Ursay, in a region which was always thought of limits to ponykind. In times past, claiming the ore-rich caverns that served as a home to the mythical bears would have been considered suicidal. Now a few dozen hunters with high-caliber rifles and explosives set out to clear the area, carefully preparing their mines on an open field. The hunters made sure to leave nothing to chance. A spell was used to mimic the Ursa Minor's call for help, and the majors, alarmed, rushed towards the sound. To call what ensued a battle would be too generous, as the mythical beasts never even saw their attackers before they were exterminated by the hunters' heavy weaponry. The prospect of a new mine being opened was front-page news in the local paper the following day, with only the lament of an old editor on the fourth page reminding the readers that the time of magic was gone. The small column weighed the comforts and safety of modern life against the adventure and mystery of the past, concluding that much was gained, but some things were also lost forever. Equestria is a modern nation. And we got our defense ministry, which gave us back a little bit of political power and much needed army experience. Now it's time for the urgent war committee, which normally deals with an impeding war. Well, we're a bit late for the impeding war. Also, I yammered on too much about, because at the end of last episode I was about 21 minutes. Now I'm way over, and I still haven't retaken Winnego, but I think I lost the south way better. And I'm also on the verge of securing supplies to the north. You know what? It's too important. We gotta take this. Even if we can't encircle and eradicate one more division, we just gotta take the supply line. We lose too much just sitting around. And I'm losing too much time and wasting too much of your valuable time with my yammering. So I say good night, stay safe, thank you for watching, and until next time, bye bye.